Hi everyone, and welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, the channel where we dive deep into the truth behind the headlines and shine a light on the journey of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I'm Adrian, your host. And today's episode takes us into the heart of Africa through the legacy of Princess Diana and into the swirling drama that's unfolded around Sentebale, the charity co-founded by Prince Harry to support vulnerable children in Lesotho and Botswana. But the real story here is not the tabloid spin about Harry storming off. It's a story of integrity, vision, and one man's determination to protect a cause from being hijacked by corporate mismanagement and political agendas. Let's get into it. To understand why Prince Harry's involvement in Sentebale mattered so much, you need to go back to where it all began. The year was 2006. Fresh off the heartbreak of losing his mother Diana, Princess of Wales, Prince Harry was determined to honour her memory not with words, but with action. Together with Prince Seeiso of Lesotho, Harry co-founded Sentebale, which means forget-me-not in Sesotho, a tribute to his mother's favourite flower, and a poignant reminder to never forget the children often left behind, those living with HIV, AIDS, orphans and vulnerable young people throughout southern Africa. Diana had dedicated herself to fighting the stigma around AIDS. Harry picked up that torch and carried it with a fire and commitment rarely seen among royals. Sentebale wasn't about handshakes and ribbon cuttings. Harry would fly into Lesotho and work closely with kids and community leaders. He wasn't a patron in name only, he was there in the dirt, on the ground, helping young people build brighter futures. His heart was in it. That's what made Sentebale different. It wasn't charity for optics, it was personal, it was real. Under Harry's guidance, Sentebale grew into something remarkable. It created safe spaces for HIV-positive youth to connect, heal and gain skills. It ran peer mentoring programs, it worked in schools, it partnered with local governments, and most of all it brought visibility to children the world often ignores. Between 2006 and 2020, Sentebale reached over 30,000 young people in Lesotho and Botswana. Prince Harry was there for the fundraising events, the gala dinners, the youth summits, not just as a figurehead, but as an engaged leader. His personal connection to the cause made it thrive. But then, something began to change. After stepping back from royal duties in 2020, Harry's attention was split building a life with Meghan, raising 2 young children, starting new philanthropic ventures like Archewell. Yet despite everything, he remained a trustee of Sentebale, always engaged until March 2024, when the headlines screamed, "Prince Harry quits Sentebale." But why? The media has tried to twist this into a narrative of abandonment, suggesting Harry walked away because he lost interest after marrying Meghan. That couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, Prince Harry didn't abandon Sentebale, he was trying to save it. Internal disputes began brewing in late 2023 when Dr. Sophie Chandauka was controversially appointed as chair of Sentebale. The trustees, many of whom had long-standing ties to the original mission and operations in Lesotho, expressed deep concern over the appointment. Why? Because Dr. Chandauka, while accomplished in her field, proposed radical changes that many felt would disconnect Sentebale from its core values. One major flashpoint was her proposal to shift the charity's fundraising base entirely to Africa. On paper, it sounded noble, but in practice, it meant cutting off vital international donors, slashing administrative support, and alienating volunteers who had worked tirelessly for years. When key figures began resigning and operations faced disruption, the charity was on the brink of collapse. Prince Harry, still committed to protecting the children the charity served, stepped in, siding with trustees who saw the new direction as not just risky but dangerous. This wasn't about ego, it was about ethics. Harry allegedly supported calls for Dr. Chandauka to step down. In response, she accused him of bullying and harassment at scale. These are serious accusations, but let's be clear, no evidence has been presented publicly to support those claims. In fact, Harry's representatives strongly deny them. Even more troubling, Dr. Chandauka claimed the charity was engaged in a cover-up, citing allegations of misogyny and weak management. But these explosive statements came only after she faced pushback from the board and from Harry himself. Was this a whistleblower trying to save a sinking ship, or someone lashing out after a power play didn't go her way? As with so many things related to Meghan and Harry, the digital landscape around this story turned toxic fast. Sentebale's social media pages were flooded with aggressive comments, conspiracy theories and targeted attacks. The charity eventually made the difficult decision to disable comments on Twitter, citing the harmful effects of targeted online harassment. Let's be honest, we've seen this play out before. The Sussexes, and by extension anyone associated with them, are frequent targets of organised online trolling. It's part of a broader pattern where their every move is distorted and weaponised by segments of the press and anti-Sussex online communities. Dr. Chandauka herself shut down her own social media accounts, claiming she was harassed by pro-Sussex supporters, yet at the same time, much of the narrative around this has ignored the relentless abuse Harry and Meghan face daily. The real issue isn't fans defending Harry. It's a system of online toxicity that thrives on conflict and division. Let's talk about the media coverage. Most outlets latched onto the idea that Harry stormed out, or gave up, on Sentebale. But why would someone who co-founded a charity 18 years ago, devoted over a decade of personal involvement, and whose own mother's legacy is the very heart of that work, suddenly walk away without cause? He wouldn't. And he didn't. Harry left because the direction of the organisation no longer aligned with its original mission. He stood with the trustees who wanted to protect that legacy. And when he was falsely accused, he chose to take the high road. No public rebuttals, no counterattacks, just a dignified withdrawal while the trolls and tabloids frothed at the mouth. Is that the behaviour of a toxic man, or someone too principled to stay involved in a fight that threatened to hurt the very children he set out to help? Whatever you think about the internal politics at Sentebale, there's no denying the legacy Prince Harry has left behind. He helped put HIV-positive children in Lesotho on the map, literally. He mobilised millions in funding. He built partnerships with organisations that are still saving lives. And most importantly, he empowered young people to believe that they mattered, no matter their status, their condition, or their background. Harry may no longer be a trustee, but the foundations he built are still standing. Even after stepping away, he issued no negative statements. His silence speaks volumes not of guilt, but of grace. This is a man who knows how to walk away from a mess without feeding the chaos. This story is about more than just one charity. It's about the length some people will go to undermine Harry and Meghan, even when it means distorting the truth about humanitarian work. It's about how difficult it is to operate in good faith when bad actors twist narratives for clicks and clout. It's about the erosion of trust in institutions that should be above petty feuds. And yes, it's about racism, misogynoir and the double standards applied to Meghan Markle and anyone associated with her. But through it all, Prince Harry remains steadfast in his mission, not defined by his critics but by his causes. Whether it's Invictus, Archewell or his work on mental health, Harry has proven time and again that his commitment to service is lifelong. Sentebale may have shifted course, but its roots are still grounded in love, the kind of love Prince Harry learned from his mother, and the kind he shares today with Meghan. So let's not allow tabloid noise to drown out truth. Let's uplift the legacy, not the lies. If you believe in standing by people who stand for something, especially when it's hard, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts below. I'm Adrian and this has been Meghan and Harry Tales. See you in the next episode and remember, the truth will always find its voice.